Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is where I'm going to be ranking all my palettes from Alien Cosmetics, which has of course now rebranded to Unearthly Cosmetics. Now I'm actually quite shocked that I have so many palettes. I don't have all of them. I don't have all palettes from Alien Cosmetics, but I do have quite a few and I had not realized it, honestly, which sounds so silly, but you know, this is just how it is with a makeup fanatic kind of a person, right? So I do believe I have 13 palettes here from Alien Cosmetics, and by now, after being such a fan for such a long time of that brand, I've actually now made it on the PR list for a couple of months now, and I am super thrilled. Like, but now you can see also how long I've been a fan already, you know, because you're going to see some very old palettes which are definitely not available anymore. So with all of that being said, if you've just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist. I'm living for colorful makeup and colorful styling, so please feel free to check out my social media, which is linked down in the description box, so you can see what I've been up to and what I'm capable of, and of course check out my channel and subscribe, because I would absolutely love to have you here. Alright, sweeties, I'm also wearing one of the palettes that are going to be featured here today, so we shall talk about that once we get there. Okay, now last place sounds so bad, but I guess 13th place is this one. This is the Moody Palette, which is my very first palette from Alien Cosmetics. This is how she looks. Now the color scheme is absolutely beautiful. This was a palette that released, I do believe it was like January, February of whatever year that was, years ago, and it was kind of the winter palette, and I love this color scheme so bad. Now back then my makeup skills were also maybe not as developed yet, but also I have to say formula wise that some of the shades went hard pan really fast, so that's why it is actually ranking the lowest, because I do believe that there has been a change towards the positive when it comes to the formula, at least according to my taste. But color scheme wise, sweeties, you cannot really do it much better. This is a beautiful palette. This was, I think, a limited edition, as are usually the winter palettes, I think, are a limited edition. So, and I also don't recall which year that was, but this is the Moody Palette. Maybe you remember this launching, but yeah, this was my first impression of Alien Cosmetics. I couldn't believe it. It could even be that I filmed with this at the beginning of my channel. I don't remember anymore because it's so long back. Okay, now this one was also a winter palette, and I also do not remember the name. This might have been the 2019 or 2020 winter palette. No, not 2020. Maybe 2018, 2019. I have no idea. But this is how it looks from the inside. Also, this super nice color scheme for a winter palette, and also in general I think super nice. And here they also started with the duochromes already, because this one here is one, this one is one, I think maybe this one also, I don't remember anymore, but these absolutely. And also here the formula already was better for me. I don't know if there was really a change or if it's just me making this up. Very possible, but again, as I said, my makeup skills have really developed in all those years, so I've also then just learned how to deal with stuff, you know. So that is what it was. Okay, so now the next one is a bit unfair to include it because I haven't tried it. I wanted to try this one actually just a couple of days ago when it was my weekend, and maybe you know that on my weekends I do the softer looks, and this one here, the Fall Magic palette, which just launched now in the fall of 2021, and this is a limited edition palette. This one here gives me exactly that, and I think it's a beautiful palette. It is very soft, kind of almost unusual for Alien Cosmetics, but in any case I think it is super smart for each brand, for any brand, to have a palette like this. And I think it's a beautiful palette that feels like slipping into your most favorite, most comfortable shoe. This is how this palette feels to me. Definitely wanted to work with this, but I haven't gotten around to it yet because it ended up being no makeup days. because life has been super crazy, you know. So in any case, this is what it is, the Fall Magic, but I'm putting it here because on that spot in my ranking, because it looks just so beautiful, so soothing, so wonderful. And I already know that this is of course the most recent formula of Alien Cosmetics, which I really love, and it's beautiful. So that is what it is. Now the next one, I don't know if a lot of people really get how beautiful and how exceptional and how versatile this palette is, and that is the Not Normal palette. This is how she looks, sweeties. Also, this one has a bit of a more soft color scheme, but seriously, there is so much in this palette, and even I underestimated this palette. I knew immediately that I wanted to have it, but this is just such a gorgeous palette. Also, the performance was amazing, and if you are into, you know, looks that are maybe a little bit softer, a little bit more into the murky colorful looks, this could be absolutely your thing. It is a super sexy palette and the performance is super nice. So this is what it is. Did I film with this palette? I believe I did. I don't remember anymore. It's just, I don't know, too much happening at the same time, but seriously, this palette is beautiful. Now, also here, I'm not 100% sure if this is still available. I really hope so, because this palette, I highly recommend it. Now, let us talk about the palette that I'm actually wearing today. And this is my first look that I've done with that palette, with that collection, I should say, because we're talking about the In the Dark palette, which has just launched for basically for the holidays, the high holidays. That's a very Jewish thing to say. Sorry, for the winter holidays of 2021. All right, so this is how it looks. And this is how it looks from the inside. An 8-pan palette, and of course very dark, kind of mystic, sexy, super rich in everything. You do have two shimmers, this one here, which I have on my lid, and I'm going to have a review up super soon, maybe next week, okay? And I'm going to talk in depth about all of this, because of course I have only just started trying this palette, but yeah. And I should also point out, of course, the lippy, which is this lip gloss, which comes with the palette. I think it's really pretty, super pretty, honestly. And then also the highlighter, which is actually a green highlighter. I hope you can see that there is a green shift to it. Maybe if I move it a little bit. I have that in my inner corner, and also here is my cheekbone highlight, and it is super nice. I don't think one sees the green here a lot, but maybe in the inner corner, even though I layered it a little bit on top of the blue, so I don't know if the true color actually comes out a lot, but this is very beautiful. Okay, now let us move on in the ranking. I don't know which number are we at. Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8, number 8. Okay, so that is the Fairy Frolic palette. Sweeties, this was for the longest time my most favorite fall palette. And this is why. Because this palette, seriously, I mean, this was not available, I think, for a long time, because people went crazy over this palette. At least this is how my impression of it was, you know, because seriously, such a beautiful palette. And this is like unbelievable quality. Unbelievable quality. This is so metallic and so beautiful. I just have to say that this is still such a beautiful palette. Now, of course, by now they have come out with so many palettes that are also more colorful. That's why this is only ranking on place 8. But seriously, I could switch those palettes around. Like, they're all floating in the mid-range, I have to say, because seriously, this is so gorgeous, you know? Absolutely beautiful. So this is the Fairy Frolic. I think they have done different packagings now, you know? So don't be surprised if this is available and you're checking on the website, there might be different outer packagings, because I think stuff has changed. Okay, now let us also talk about the Serendipity palette, which looks like this. Also, this one is a beautiful palette, and this is ranking a tiny little bit higher than the Fairy Frolic because it has a little bit more drama in it, and of course I personally really like that. While I really appreciate the softer looks too, but I'm kind of, from my nature, my nature pulls me more to the drama, you know, so at least in the makeup. So, so this is why this is ranking a little bit higher. Also here, of course, these shades are super beautiful. You do, of course, here have also duochrome shades in the palette. And also here, of course, the the opacity of the shades, if you can see this is it looks a little bit thinner because it is a duochrome shade, so it maybe doesn't pick up so well here on the camera, but in any case it's so gorgeous, and this is why it ranks where it ranks. Now let us also talk about the palette that actually, or the collection that launched together with In the Dark, and that is Smells Like Holiday Spirit. I do have a review up for this whole collection, and of course this is the palette that belongs to the collection, and this is the winter release of 2021, of course. So this is a beautiful palette, is already size-wise also a little bit into the direction of what I'm most comfortable with. My sweet spot when it comes to palettes is around 18 shades plus. So there you go, you know, if I have very small palettes, it is kind of hard for me to like stay tuned into this palette, you know. I kind of really like to go wild and just try a lot, because I have no problem using 6 to 8 shades in one look, you know, and if I have an 8-pan palette, then I'm like, you know. But in any case, this is a beautiful palette, very good performance, really liked it. And again, of course, you can also watch my review, of course, of this palette with several looks and swatches and everything. But also here, of course, you do get some drama. You do have a nice range from light to dark in each color scheme, and there are so many variations that you can come up with, and it's so beautiful. And yeah, so that is what this one is all about. Now let us also talk about this one that unfortunately kind of, I don't know, got lost a little bit in my collection, and that is the Bunnies palette. Do you guys have this one? Like, look at this. This is so cute and so beautiful. I cannot remember if I filmed with this. I feel like I did. I did at least 2 looks, if not 3. And if I do 3 looks, I usually then film a review, because it just makes sense to then also film a review. I just cannot remember anymore. But in any case, there are, of course, beautiful duochrome shades. There are shimmers, there are mattes. You do have 6 mattes, which are the smaller shades, and then, of course, those shimmer shades, which are the bigger ones. This is a very unusual palette, I think, for Alien Cosmetics, because of course also the placement of the shadows and the different pan sizes and everything, but the color scheme is so playful and so fun. And also here again, wait, I need to wipe my fingers, the performance of those, like, can you see, like, really, wait, let me swatch another one just for the fun of it, okay? So I don't know if it looks better if you look at it like this or if I swatch it. Let me just also swatch it. I don't know if it comes even across. Probably not. But boy oh boy, like super impressive. And I also know that a lot of you really enjoyed this palette. So this is definitely ranking high, and I honestly should just go back and play with this. Yeah. Alright, Witching Hour. Sweeties, this is the first palette that I received in PR from Alien Cosmetics. This is the, I guess, Halloween or full-time release of 2021. So you can see that all of these palettes basically before that were either by me, purchased by me, or gifted by besties or something, you know? So I've now gotten 3 palettes in PR from Alien. So this was the first one. And then, of course, I got, no, it's just 2. It's just 2. The Smells Like Holiday Spirit was also a PR palette, and the In the Dark I actually got gifted by one of my besties. So there you go, you know, I have been a long time friend of this brand. Okay, so this is the fall release of last year, of 2021, and this one was also so gorgeous. The performance of this one, sweeties, and the color scheme, the fall time palettes are just the most beautiful palettes. If you ask me, according to my taste, they are the most beautiful palettes in the whole year, because they are people let themselves go all in, you know, and kind of celebrate color and celebrate, I don't know what they celebrate. It is just so gorgeous. So yeah, this was the Witching Hour. I don't know if this was this a limited edition? I'm honestly not 100% sure. But if it's still available and you like this color scheme, I can highly recommend it. Very nice. Now, the next palette, which is ranking on number 3, is I stayed away from this palette for a long time because I was intimidated. I don't know why. Well, That's the Strawberry Palette, sweeties, because of the greens and the pinks, because it kind of is opposite on the color wheel, and you know, the risk of looks with a palette like this getting muddy is really high if you do not know how to use it, you know. But sweeties, I've done looks with this, especially of course also going into the greens and then doing highlights with the pinkish shades. It is unbelievable, this palette, and just because the greens are so phenomenal, and of course green is the color of my soul, and the color of my whatever I want to be is green, you know. So that is just serving me so well, and pinks and reds are also super beautiful on me. So this is a beautiful palette and absolutely highly recommended. I think you do need to just think a little bit more with this palette, how to place your shadows so you don't get damage, you know. But beyond that, that is just what it is. Now, I personally do not need a shade like this in the palette. I don't know why that is there, but I think another green would have been great, you know, but that is just me. So in any case, this is the palette ranking on place number 3. Now, place number 2, you'll be surprised about place number 1, sweeties. Okay, Alien Cosmetics, Don't Be Jelly. So this is their Duochrome Multichrome palette. It's 9 shades of Multichromes, which I bought on release, and it is so pretty. You will probably not even get like 2% of how pretty this is. I'm definitely going to have to do like a swatch video of this one because it is so gorgeous. And also just the color scheme, again, with some more murky greens, which is actually this I see right now as a green. You probably see it as a red. So you are seeing this all different than I do, because of course the camera picks it up differently because it's duochrome shade, so depending on how the light falls onto it, right? So I see this here as a mixture between a hunter green and an army green, like a khaki green, or however one pronounces this in English, and stuff like this. So it is just so beautiful. The dimensions in a palette like this are beautiful. Now, this would have ranked on first place if there would also be mattes in the palette. Now, for me personally, I love palettes like this, but then give me also an all matte palette to go with this, you know. That is why it's not ranking on first place, but other than that, it is just gorgeous, stunning, you know. Also, of course, that it is nice and dark and just gives you so much in like what I need for my makeup, you know. So first place, are you ready? Drum roll. Okay, sweeties, this is a very old palette that just conquered my heart in a heartbeat, and that is the Summer on Earth palette. And this palette is so good. I remember when I saw it the first time, when I was speaking about this in my new makeup releases. This is how much I remember this palette, because it is that beautiful. Now, I know that it does not rank that high for so many people because there are actually 2 pressed glitters here in the palette, and people had problems with that, I guess. I don't know if there were ever again pressed glitters in any of their palettes. I do believe not, you know. But for me, that was beautiful. I loved it. And also, this is probably the best pressed glitter formula that I have ever tried. I think I even made once a video about glitters and how to use them, and like what my most favorite formulas are, and I think I used this palette to show you my most favorite formula. This is opaque, it doesn't budge, there is no fallout. It was beautiful, you know. So in any case, also the rest of the color scheme is just absolutely insanely beautiful, and there is just nothing that you can do better with this palette for me. I know that probably a lot of you would say, okay, so switch out the pressed glitters, put something else in there and we'll go for it. But for me personally, this gave me like everything, you know. So yeah, I just look at this palette, I look at the theme, and I just want to smile, you know. And this is when makeup is like this, it is just, it makes me so happy, and there is just so much good in makeup, sweeties. Do you still feel the passion for makeup in yourselves and in me? I'm just so thrilled to have this in my life because it is such a gift. I don't know what people do who don't do makeup. seriously, because it can give you so much joy. And I am so thrilled that Alien Cosmetics is one of the brands that I'm absolutely passionate about. I think I used to be like this with Juvia's Place, but Juvia's Place kind of has gone a different way now. I'm not going to say that it has gone bad or anything, God forbid, but it's just not so much me anymore. But Alien Cosmetics is just like, it pushes a trigger in me that like brings out the happiness and brings out just good stuff, you know? And this is why I'm following this brand and buying from this brand, and now of course also working with this brand. I'm also affiliated with them, so make out of it whatever you want. I don't owe them anything, they don't owe me anything. Just saying, I do have a code with them in case you want to use it. It's in the description box under Unearthly Cosmetics, of course. But sweeties, this is what it is, you know? You see that I have had a long history with this brand, a long history. And it is it's like love letters, you know. Each of these palettes is like a love letter between me and Alien Cosmetics / Unearthly Cosmetics, and I really appreciate that when a brand is like this, that I just so vibe with what they do, you know. And you don't have a click with this with every brand. You can like a brand, you can dislike a brand, or you prefer a brand and like less prefer another brand, but to have like this instant click, so you get what they're doing in their palettes, you get their color schemes, you like, you know, it's like your twin soul sitting on a different continent. This is kind of what I feel about this brand, and that is just so nice. So if you've not tried this brand, feel free to do so, and if you have other preferences, then do whatever you like. It's really, I'm just sitting here and sharing. So in any case, you will find of course all these palettes linked in the description box, or at least listed, because I don't know whatever is still available. I know that they are going to super soon restock all their palettes, whatever has to be restocked, but some of them of course are so old they're not going to be there anymore. But in any case, you know how to find that brand. What else will you find in the description box? You will find of course all my discount codes, you will find my makeup of today, you will find links to my social media and ways to support my channel in case you wish to do so. Beyond that, of course, leave me as always your comments down in the comment section, and subscribe to my channel, because seriously, you know, why not? Alright, and I'll see you here super soon for my next video, and up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses.